Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, also on the panel tonight, is Bridgeman, who's been chastised, well and truly, and also JFK, who just gets chastised because he likes it. How we doing, gentlemen?
Can I say a big good evening to you two guys? Huge good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans listening in all over the world. Good evening. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
I just want to say something to you too. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Nice one.
Yep, can't argue with that, pal. Can't argue with that.
Bridge sent me that. He's got that tattooed in the back of his head. Don't know how.
one of the first things I ever remember memorising.
For us, it was a Lord's Prayer, JFK. No, the good story, did it?
Yep, definitely, mate. Definitely. Yeah, go with that.
But you were badder boys than I was, for sure.
You just didn't get caught. We were smarter boys than you were.
We came for Partick, no the drum.
Oh dear.
Oh, don't get me started. Right. I suppose, unfortunately, we have to talk at this pantomime that is Scottish football. Nothing to do with your club, but the repercussions are striking far and wide. Bridgeman, I know you were following it on the news today.
Yeah, it's a pantomime in reality. How can it possibly be that a player can get 2 days holiday or something like that, or 3 days holiday from the club, and then within a number of hours he's on a plane to Spain, and then 24 or whatever it be hours later he's back in Scotland again, and nobody knows he was there, and the customs people obviously haven't said to him, remember you need to quarantine, there's no even a wee leaflet. So this guy has gone there, came back, went and whatever he was doing, he's training during the week to get to the game at the weekend, and he comes on as a substitute in that game. I'm sorry, that is just a ludicrous stuff. Ludicrous.
So JFK, using that scenario, are we saying that was an eligible player? Just wondering, because I like to be truthful, mate. Asking questions, because
what I've saw today in different places now, it beggars belief that some others didn't know what he was doing, and I've got to look at them and say, did you actually know? I think some of them did know, and they're covering it up.
I'll ask you a question, JFK. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know you never went to a good secondary school, but your primary school was all right?
Yeah. Church Street was all right. Roseville Street and all.
Right. So, you go away for a few days, right? All your mates in the work. Remember, they're all young men, and nobody knows what you've been or done. How often does that happen?
No, doesn't happen, mate. Doesn't happen. They knew what was going on, and
they knew again, did they?
They knew again. That's somebody else there who knew, and knew everything that was going on. I watched Popcornmouth the day, right, and nobody's going to convince me that he didn't know what was happening. I don't care what anybody says, and I don't usually watch him, but I had to watch for the comedy value, and that's what it was. People must have known what he was doing, where he was going, and I just can't understand that they didn't know.
I agree with you, Jimmy. I can just say,
Okay, can I ask you this other question then, lads?
Go on then, pal.
He's promised to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
There you go.
Go.
Do you believe that after the charades of a certain Celtic centre forward, do you think that club over the warning for breaking the guidelines, and do you think that the players would have been told what the rights and wrongs are? Had they facts reiterated to them? Am I wrong, or do you think that's possible?
Well, sorry. No, well, no. That he's not going to get punished because that's already, we've already been told that they've had their investigation and they're happy that there was no protocol broken, which I don't see why that can be the truth.
They had an internal investigation, JFK.
They had another internal
like the one
investigation.
They had in 1986 when they said everything was rosy here. Like the one they started 2 years ago. Like the one they had for the guy who hit Fernando Rickson with a lighter. All internal,
Yep, like they threw bananas at Mark Walters.
Yes.
But can I ask you...
You could go on and on and on and on.
The phrase coined by our manager, mark your own homework. Bridgman.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. If you're comparing everything next to the club against yourself, what can you do? You can't do nothing, because you're always going to be glowing, aren't you? You're always going to be glowing compared to it. Can I just ask the question? The guy comes back on the Tuesday and he goes training, right? Let's say on the Wednesday, turns up for the training on a Wednesday prior to the weekend's game. And is it beyond belief that not one person at Celtic Park's training area asked him, how did you go and what did you do? You had the 3-day holiday or something. Did you do anything? Did you go to a restaurant? Anything like that, a bit of small talk at training. And if they did ask him, and they said, I went to Spain.
I'm no one for spreading rumours, but I heard he was giving out cartons of fags.
I saw that today. I was brilliant with it.
I've heard he's selling some nice sunglasses, I know.
But really,
can I just say something? A lot of people. I mean, we all know there's a pandemic out there, and I know we're talking about this, and we're going to talk about the Rangers later on. But what I listened to earlier on the day, people were saying, but we've tested all these players twice, especially him, right, the big ball and goalie and all that, and they're thinking everything's rosy. If they listen to the guy Jason Leach, he did tell everybody the day again, and he told all the players, captains and managers, that 2 negative tests don't make it right. He said, because you could have 2 negative tests,
and 7 days later you can test positive.
7 days later you can test positive.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know why. You know why you started, mate. You know what I do for a day job, and I deal with that.
Aye. But they're getting a high, and that's what and Fox.
Right, can I ask you two gentlemen this again? Another question: if he's promised to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yep, hand in Bible.
Right. So when somebody at a club breaks guidelines or breaks the law, and then you want to punish the whole club, does that ring a bell? I know it's not on the same scale, but the crap and the posturing we had to listen to once again, does it ring a bell?
Yeah.
Are you thinking a so-called Mr. White who decided without the knowledge of the support and the club as a whole notify we're VAT and national insurance and led us down a path that we're just getting back on ship now? One guy makes a mistake, you're still culpable, the whole club. Who said that? They said that, didn't they?
Yeah. Now, on that, right, there's two avenues here, a fork in the road here. What Mr. White did, we know, was wrong, right? And what Ball and Goalie done was totally wrong as well. But the big difference for me is the Mr. White didn't cost anybody's life. Mr. Ball and Goalie could have cost people their life. Stupidity.
The big difference for me is the placement and the hypocrisy.
Bridgman,
so they should be punished.
The hypocrisy.
We know what they're like as a club. We know what they're going to be like. I think the biggest hypocrisy of all was during when we were having our troubles about the EBTs, and lo and behold, Celtic found that they had a player. They had already got a player with an EBT, so they went to the SFA, and the SFA just brushed it under the carpet, cancelled it. No, it didn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nothing like Rangers. An EBT is an EBT. If you're going to throw Rangers at the league for having EBTs, you do the same thing with Celtic, don't you?
Hypocrisy. Anyway, if people want to join us, what's the number, JFK?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online, where you were brought into the call by Fox and Old School Blue. Old School Blues on the technicals, and Fox is now the show producer. He's gave himself a new title. What about that?
A show producer?
Producer?
Wow.
He's got a hat and everything.
Is he? You got a chair?
Oh, dear.
Oh, brilliant.
Right, so we're looking for it. I think it was a light bulb moment.
It'd be like Walt Disney or something. It'd be like Walt Disney or something like that. You know?
Walt Disney.
It'd be like as a big producer. A big producer, right? Okay.
Fox has joined us. I know he's got a few questions to ask on this. Evening, all mucker. Mr. Producer.
Good evening. Enough of your rubbish now, and let's go on with it. No, all I've got to say in it is I listened to Clyde tonight to hear the reactions. I know people will say you shouldn't listen, but you've got to listen for a laugh. And they all made out that it was all Ballingolly's fault, and the club had nothing to do with it whatsoever. They came out with a clean bill of health. But they already had a previous warning when Lee Griffiths also broke the protocols. So surely their message, they must have known then their message wasn't getting through. And they've no excuse for Ballingolly to go missing for me. And I'd have thought in this day and age with drug testing protocols that you've got to know where all your players are at any given time in case they were due a test.
Well said, mate. Well said.
But a man can escape out the country and nobody knows where he is. I don't believe for a minute that they did not know until late last night that he was in Spain. I believe that they knew before it. And that's only my opinion, but that's what I believe.
Well, what I've got to ask you, Fox, I know you're a very, very, very intelligent man, yes? Well, how come it broke on the Rangers forums bizarrely on Saturday what Ballingolly had been to Spain, but it's now took till Tuesday before somebody at a certain club knew about it?
Well, it's my belief again that the Sun newspaper picked up this story with a tweet that was on Twitter stating the facts that Ballingolly had been in Spain, and that's where they got their information. So that was put out 2 days before Celtics allegedly didn't know and before the Sun newspaper actually published it. So I don't know who to believe now, but I believe that their club is at fault. And I think we need to take into consideration through this is that there's opposite team or the team oppositions who are missing out in games later on in the year will have to play these ties, and it might inconvenience a team like St Mirren to have 3 games in a week when they would normally have a midweek game free. It'll put a tax on their squad, and they are, for me, being hindered by these decisions. And I'll tell you another thing. The Aberdeen-Celtic game at Parkhead, if any sort of crowd is allowed into that game then, they shouldn't be. That should be played behind closed doors, and they should not financially benefit in any way from the mistakes caused by the club and the player.
Yeah.
Well said, young man, as somebody would say. Well said. Fox, I've got to say that I find some of the hypocrisy bordering on sickening for some of the policemen.
Well, that's what Hollycombe get paid for, mate. Radio Clyde would never had Hugh Keevans on a Tuesday night. Monday night is his night, but he was drafted in to calm the storm. I take it the calls were as usual. They were place call men to make it look as though everything's to blame is Ballingolly and nobody else. The club cannot be to blame. They should serve the same time and punishment as Aberdeen have, who will also benefit out of their misdemeanour by having a full squad fit and available to play their ties when they come up as well. So the 2 clubs who have committed the offences, for me, will benefit out of it, and it's time the SPFL brought down serious sanctions on both.
Yeah. I've actually turned 180 degrees since the other night. Stardog's won me over. And JFK.
Standard.
Right, I've got questions to ask. Usually simple, yes or no answer. I want to put this under the spotlight. People know what I'm talking about if they want to look at spotlight on Twitter. And ask you this question: do you think they'll use the defence at Bolingoli as a separate entity? JFK.
Well, do you know that is a very, very it's a good probability, mate. I think that they might just see that as a separate entity.
All right, Bridgeman.
I have to laugh. That is quite good. Where he got that one from, I don't know, but that's a really good question and very funny, I have to say. And I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll sack him. I think they'll sack him and get rid of him. Simple as that.
I think he'll be quite happy to get sacked, wouldn't he?
I think he would be, but I think it would be a good. They can't. I don't think they can do anything with him. I don't think the Celtic fans like him, and after this, they'll probably hate him. So I think it would. I don't think Celtic would be looking for money for him. I think they would just sack him.
Somebody they could do him under it, whether he's a footballer or no. They could do him under
his health and safety.
Summary dismissal means leave without any pay or remuneration.
Yeah, but I think they could come to an agreement with the guy and say, look, you're not going to be no longer here because nobody wants you. The fans don't like you, and we have to clear your contract up. So let's do it.
So would the harm the fact the harm to Steve McGregor, mate?
Eduardo.
Would they have been so keen to get rid of him?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And I
there's
think
the hypocrisy again.
Of course, pal. Of course.
Yeah.
It's the selectiveness.
Same question to you about do you think they'll claim that Bolingoli is a separate entity?
And mate, as long as that club doesn't take the blame for anything, they'll blame anybody else, mate.
It's not the first Celtic manager to come out and say he didn't know, innit? It's unusual, huh? Seems to be a trait. Seems to be a trait. Anyway, we've been joined by young Stardog. Evening,
Good
Stardog.
evening.
Hi, Stardog.
Good evening. Scottish football, the gift that keeps on giving, Hawkster. What can you say? What can you say? Disappointing, mate, to say that.
Do you know what genuinely worries me?
Yeah.
Before you start, and honestly, mate, people will say this doesn't affect us and we're laughing. We've got a guy running our club who's first and foremost a winner and tries to be a professional. Yeah, I think everybody's seen that, the way he conducts himself. And he might get sickened by the pantomime and the unprofessionalism and just say, oh, I'm out of here.
Yeah. Oxford, for me, it might even run a bit deeper than that. You know, I come on last week and I says to you that I felt as if Aberdeen were being looked after, if anything. I know Jimmy had his reasons for Aberdeen getting their game postponed and not being made to play or deducted 3 points. But, you know, these football players, mate, have been put in a bubble and they've been protected so they can still go out and they can still earn a living. And they're not doing that, mate. There's no excuse that they can say why that guy wasn't in the country. It doesn't even matter if he lost one of his pay, because there's a million people out there that have been in that position that couldn't go and see their aunties, uncles, say back to their grands, grandpas. Some people I even know mums and dads, Oxshire. There's absolutely no reason how they can protect this guy for this. I feel as if Bolingoli's a bit of a patsy, to be honest with you. I feel as if the damage was already done with Lee Griffiths and the Aberdeen thing. He's just going to be an absolute... He's going to be an absolute fall guy. Mate, this is the second fixture already in the new season, Oxshire, that's been had to be cancelled. It was supposed to be on Sky. And they've just pumped all this money into this league. When are they going to look at it and maybe think, this is enough? The league still doesn't even have a...
We had to give him £10 million because of a certain club between the rest of us.
You know, the league doesn't even sponsor Oxshire. And this is what I'm looking at, the bigger picture. These players are going to end up killing the Scottish game if they don't watch what they're doing.
I think EasyJet have come in today and said they're willing.
Yeah.
Right. It's a shambles. It's a shambles, mate.
It's an absolute mess, mate. And how would you deal with it, Stardom?
Look, you've got to punish the clubs, mate. I know it's the player that's done it, but the club are held responsible for their players, mate. You know, they've got to be held responsible for that. Cancelling their games, postponing these games, Oxford, is doing them a favour. It's doing them a favour. You've got to deduct the points. You've got to come down on them like a ton of bricks. Fox already mentioned that was not their yellow card. They already had their yellow card, mate, with the Lee Griffiths scenario. So for me,
Just
it's
remind a lot of people what Lee Griffiths done, Stardog.
Lee Griffiths decided it was a good idea to have a rave, didn't he? And he was put out there all social media having a small gathering, we'd call it, mate, having a great old time with himself. So, you know, for me, mate, Golly's the fall guy. There's rumours circulating that he was trying to move or whatever, but that doesn't matter what you were trying to do, mate. Like I say, folk have lost family members and have had to abide by the rules. He's absolutely no different in my eyes. The Scottish SFA need to stop looking after these teams, mate. Deducting points, because it's affecting the other teams. What about these teams that are scheduled to play them? What about St Mirren? They've done nothing wrong. St Johnstone last weekend done nothing wrong, but yet they're now hauled into this fixture pile-up, mate, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Can anybody tell us if there's been any response from the SPFL or indeed the SFA themselves?
Doncaster made a statement, but you'll excuse me, I turned it off, mate. I've got to be
All
honest
right.
with you.
Okay.
I will get it. I will get it, Bridge. I'll see if I can dig it out and see what you had to say, yeah?
Cool.
See the Lee Griffiths thing?
Hello. What's this Rangers radio?
Hello.
Is this Rangers radio?
Yes, mate.
Hello. Aye, what it is, my point is about the Celtic and Aberdeen fiasco.
Yes, mate.
And I just think the SFA is
What's your name, mate?
My name's Shug, and I live down in Folkestone now. And I'm originally from Paisley. Aye, but I'm originally from Paisley. I still love the Rangers.
Is the Grand Boston still there, hotel?
It's still there, aye. Soon, maybe one day it'll sail into the sea, the big boat. Aye, I don't. I've been here nearly 20 years, but I still love the Rangers.
A weekend in that hotel, mate. It brings back memories.
But I bet it was, I'll tell you what, by the way, it's an old horse shop now, I think. Everybody's on the club. I think it's £1 a night now. Quick for the breakfast if you want one.
It's the nearest hotel I've ever been to. It's like Butlins, mate. It was like Butlins. Anyway, point, Shug.
Well, the point is, I think our Rangers fans should get maybe somebody could maybe get some on the Facebook, so we can all sign that he sent to the Scotland's finest police, so that volley could at least get done.
He's been done, mate. There you go.
No, but I mean charged for the police.
He's been done today, mate. But the fine.
What did you get charged for it?
There is a recourse, and I think the fine, but JFK, the fine was £200, was it £400?
£480, Shug.
480 quid he was fined.
But we were talking about it earlier on. They can't fine him any more than that, mate, because he's treated as a working man, a working whatever person who broke the protocol of COVID-19, and they can't fine him any more of that. Where he will find it.
It's wrong because he's when played against Kilmarnock.
Well, that's probably up to them.
I thought they could maybe a loophole could at least get them done for putting people's lives at risk.
Listen, I'm no one for conspiracy theories, but I'm hearing that Celtic want the Kilmarnock game replayed.
What's that? They want it replayed? I think they should just chuck it now. Give it the league to Hibs now. They're tapping any 10 rows. Hope they cunts win nothing.
Oh, what's your line?
Swear first time, Shug, just swear it, son.
What's that? Sorry, mate.
Swearing, mate.
Aye, but I think Neil Lennon knew. That's a question.
Well, I'll go down the panel with a yes or no answer, and we'll ask everybody who's here. Bridgeman.
I'll tell you what, I watched these on Sky Sports. He was on there. And I think for the first time in my life, I say he conducted himself quite well. It's sticks in my throat to say that. But he's never going to be Steven Gerrard, who's always conducts himself in a dignified manner, regardless of the result. If a team beats him, he always praises his team. The players did well. He'll not say, "Oh, that blade of grass cost us that game." He's always dignified. And I think 55.
Listen, Shug, I'm going to take your question round the panel, but listen, thanks for the call, mate, and we'll speak to you soon. And the next time I'm maybe doing in the Grand Burston, I'll give you a shout, mate.
Aye, we can have a wee pint, aye. The only problem is there are more Celtic fans down here and they're Seagulls.
All right, I never noticed that.
Aye.
Right,
dear.
John, thanks for the call,
Right.
mate.
Me bother around, buddy, and you look after yourself, bud, and me are the people.
We are the
Cheers,
people.
I've not heard that
I'll
one.
take your. What was his question? He wanted to know. Was a yes or no answer? Did Lennon know? Just simple, yes or no. Stardog,
Yes.
Bridgeman,
Yes.
JFK,
Yes.
Fox.
I would think somebody at the club knew. I'm being diplomatic, mate.
Well, that's what producers do, isn't it?
That's what producers do, JFK. Well said. Well, he's on that Amazon the day looking at one of these sort of basket chair things, you know.
But next you'll be hearing the clacker board.
Aye, he'll be getting one of these furrows like back in the 30s. Action.
Oh dear.
Was that a director? We're just waiting for another call coming in. Yep. When they come.
Can I ask you a question while we're waiting?
Yes, on you go, Bridgeman.
For everybody, given the fact that the chap came back to here and did the business, got training and so on and so forth, when he landed in Scotland, he should have been quarantining or self-isolation for I don't know how many days, let's say 14 days.
14 days, mate.
Okay, so that, if he did that, then that would have made him.
If he'd have done that, it would have been an internal matter.
No, but that would have made him ineligible to play by law.
He wouldn't have been playing.
Right.
He wouldn't have been able to go to his work. Or
somewhere along the line, either if Celtic, we're saying that Celtic knew or Lennon knew, and if they did, and they deliberately played that guy, they're trying to pull the wool over Scottish football fans' eyes or Scottish football, they're trying to make a fool of them. And I think it's quite a serious point that this eligibility thing needs to be nailed. And if they,
I'll ask you a question. I'll throw one back at you, Bridge.
Yeah.
When was the last 2 instances you knew of any teams playing eligible players? Can you remember?
Them, isn't it? Against them.
Against them once, and also Hearts done it. Hearts done it, I think, 2 years ago in the League Cup.
That was the other one.
Yes.
At least what's that against them was a biggie in the European Cup.
Yes, they get beat 6-1 in aggregate, mate, and were awarded a 3-0 victory for the second game.
Unbelievable stuff. So all I'm meaning is that I know that we've said we think there's a bit of dubiety going on here, and sort of something happened or didn't happen. I can't understand how the SFA, SPFL haven't turned around and said straight away that guy shouldn't have been playing, so therefore he was ineligible. And if he shouldn't have been playing, he's ineligible. And you, Celtic, have played an ineligible player. 3 points, a 3-goal difference. That's it done.
So man not get the victory, is that what you're saying? Yes?
Yeah, indeed. I think it's only fair. Every time like that. Because they did it before. A precedent is there,
And then because of that, what do you think should happen to St Mirren? Should they be given the 3 points?
This is the Vodafone voicemail service for 077.
Oh, carry on, Bridge. Should St Mirren be given a point?
Sorry, Pat. Well, I'm not dead sure. I haven't came that far yet, but it's a good point. It's a really good point.
JFK, should St Mirren be given the points, and then Aberdeen and Celtic deducted 3 points each?
Yep.
Can I
just add something, that a wee caveat to that? Something I don't know if you, Linz for Austria were deducted points because they fielded an eligible player during the league campaign that broke the coronavirus protocol, and cost them the league because the Austrian FA decided that they broke the protocol. They were fined €75,000 and they were deducted 12 points.
12 points? Stardog.
Sorry, Oxford, I couldn't get off mute there. I think the fact that it's called a global pandemic, mate, everything that's been happening all over the full world recently, you have to take these things very, very seriously, mate. I seen the one that Jimmy just said there. I seen that earlier. Also seen something, this could actually affect their UEFA Champions League spot as well. There's a rule out there somewhere. I don't have it in front of me, but there's
I'll
a rule
coach
out there.
Oh,
Yep,
don't
well,
hold your breath on that.
but the fact is, mate, it's in the rule book just now. Do you know what I mean? And it has happened to other teams in the past. Like I say, global pandemic, mate. Given the fact that what's happened, it's a very, very serious matter, and they have to be dealt with, mate.
Mhm.
For me, you take the points off them for the 2 games, Oxford. You can't give them the chance to get the points back. You know, it's their fault they're missing out in the games. You've got to punish them. And whether that's 12 points, 6 points, 3 points, it doesn't matter. You have to take points.
Like myself, Fox, listen to Snyder Night for the funny.
Can I just, you had that thought, Jeff?
Go, mate.
We've been joined by a caller. Evening, caller.
Hi, how you doing? How you doing, lads? You alright?
What's
Hey,
your
buddy.
name, mate?
It's Alex from London, but
Oh,
Cumbernauld.
Alex, okay, mate. What's on your mind, mate?
Well, like Cumbernauld originally, unfortunately, but London these days.
No difference, pal. No difference.
big difference, mate. Trust me.
Absolutely. We know.
It's meant to be in Cumbernauld.
Well,
Right. What's on your mind, Alex?
no, it's like kind of. Well, I'm trying to look at the kind of the positive side of this, and it's something that the team hasn't really done for the last couple of years. Like kind of every time we've been handed an opportunity, an advantage, when they've slipped up, whether it be through this or like kind of any other time, right? We don't take advantage. Like so, like when they would drop points last season, like we would then drop points and we would play abysmally, right? So we're now in a situation where before the next time they play again, and like kind of after these 2 games, they don't play again until the Sunday after that. So we could potentially go 11 points clear of them, right?
We should, mate.
Right,
Let's be honest.
and also in their like kind of their insistence that the Scottish Cup semis and the final get played, they potentially get another 2 games that they're going to have in hand. We could get to Christmas where they've got 4 games in hand, and we could be, and again, it's all ifs and buts. We beat them twice. We could be sitting on Christmas Day 20 points ahead of them. No, there's no way.
Sounds like a good Christmas day.
Aye, well, but
I get your comment, Alex.
But I mean, like, obviously, like, kind of, when this has happened over the last 2-3 seasons, we haven't stepped up. Now we have to do this because this is the golden goose right now. I mean, okay,
right, just go. I'll take that round the panel. Great point you've made, but I just want to know about yourself, Alex. Obviously, yeah, an Anglo. What's your Rangers story, mate?
What's your Rangers story?
How long did your dad take you? How did you get involved?
Well, I'm 44, mate. So
right.
Grew up Cumbernauld. My very first game was when I was 7. It was the UEFA Cup second leg against Porto 2-1.
Oh.
David Mitchell scored. My second game was a fucking Skull Cup.
7th of November 1984. Was that Inter Milan?
No. It was a Porto game. It was 83. Porto. Then my second one was when the fucking old Skull, when the League Cup used to be over 2 legs. David Cooper scored a free kick. 1-1 against Hibs. Aye.
What a free kick he scored, by the way.
Oh, I was a belter. I was sitting in the main stand. That was my first game with my stepdad. So that was
okay.
So aye. I've been around. Mate. Been around.
All right, mate. And how did you discover Rangers Radio?
I only discovered that about 2 nights ago when I was just flicking through YouTube, mate.
All right. Fair enough. Long-time listener. Usually only day one night in the GFK.
Aye.
To be fair, I've came back on. I've looked it back up because I quite like the chat and the calls and the way you're talking about stuff. So that's why I came back on.
Good man.
It's guys like yourself that make the show, mate. We're totally live. We're not a podcast. We're totally live. We let on everybody. We try not to censor as much as we can. We try and stop bad language. We all have slip-ups because it's live. We're all adults.
I apologise for that.
No, that's all right, mate. First time caller. We've got a guy who's the most experienced campaigner we've got on here. And he had a food party the other evening.
All right.
Ah, well.
So like,
I did not.
But what are your thoughts on that? Because also, like, kind of like,
Aye, well, what I'll say, mate, I think it's a great point. We've got to keep winning. We've got them rattled, Alex. We've got them rattled.
Aye, I mean, and the thing is, like, kind of like, we already knew, like, kind of like, because of like kind of like the SPFL's like dodgy computer, like making like the game against them fucking like the 11th game. Sorry, I apologize again. The 11th game, which has never happened before. We already knew we had to win. I mean, realistically, we need to put 10 wins in before we beat them anyway, right? That's just a fact. The fact also them dropping points at the weekend was a gift. What's happened today is just that's brilliant. As long as we take advantage of it, we need to use this.
Your point is, I'll take it round the panel, mate, and let them answer you. Stardunk, I don't think he's alone in thinking that one man's food's another man's poison. This is an opportunity we've got to take as a team.
Oh, listen, mate, it's a great opportunity. It's an absolute disaster the way we've presented this opportunity, mate. But who are we to look a gift horse? So, you know, you turn our eye away to that. But for me, the 11 points, mate, you know, we've got a chance. We'll have played 3 times last year in the league before Celtic play again, right? That's the potential to be 11 points clear. But the annoying thing for me is it's not really an advantage if they're getting the chance to play the games later on in the year, mate. You know, it's all one going and making it count. I can 100% see his point. I back it 100% as well. But we've got to go and make the games count, and then, you know, they're still getting to play the games, mate. The games have been postponed. They've not been forfeited. They've been postponed, and we need to watch, mate. We just need to keep doing us, and as long as we keep winning, they'll not get near us this year. For me, Alex.
Oh, exactly. But also, like, just on your point with the games being postponed. I mean, like, ideally, like, kind of like they would be like kind of like St Johnstone, St Mirren, like would be awarded the 3 points. However, given the and bear in mind, like Doncaster and the SPFL said there's only one 3-8. They're going to have to and because realistically they would they'll get to Scottish Cup final, right? So realistically already they've got 4 games which now have to be rescheduled. They're going to have to play.
Alex, you forgot about their tour. You forgot about their tour of Japan, mate.
All right,
can I come in here, Rox? Yeah.
Yeah, on you go, mate.
That is well.
All I can say, Alex, is 2008, mate, when they made Rangers play the games. You know, I'm kind of
4 games in 7 days. So like, they're going to have to do that twice.
I kind of disagree with Stardog in a way, although no, I'm 50-50. You know, about forfeiting and gain points. That, but
come on, get off the fence. Me and you have changed our tune since the other night.
No. No, what I'm saying is that 2008. Look what they did to us. No,
I know exactly.
So why not for
play the games?
Let's see them play a semi-final and maybe a final, maybe compete in Europe, Alex, and try and cram all 8 games in. That's going to take its toll on them the same as it did us. So bring it on for them, you know. But I come in here to say, I mean, maybe Fox wants to come in. I mean, we listen to Snyder night, and there is goings on to allow them to play this European game next Tuesday, which I don't think should be played because they are still under a 7-day quarantine. Why are the SFA and the SPFL allowing this game to be played in cahoots with the government? It should not be played.
Well, like, kind of, I don't know if you saw, like, kind of earlier today, the like Linfield's game, their Champions League pre-qualifier, it's been postponed because the team from Kosovo have tested positive for coronavirus. Now, the UEFA rules state that the new COVID UEFA rules state that if a game is put off because of coronavirus, then you forfeit the game. So why is this not applying to Celtic? Because they should still be in quarantine then.
Listen to this. This is what the rule says. I was going to bring this up later, but you've wheedled it out of me, Alex. Amongst the rules that UEFA has in place, the burden on the home side to find an alternative stadium in a neutral country, if their opponents face national government restrictions on the part of the home club's government that bans them from travelling to the home side's country. If the home club fails to find an alternative venture, then they forfeit the match by default and will lose the game. That's just one of the things that UEFA have said. There's several other paragraphs.
So there you go then. So.
Foxy boy, in you come. In you come.
I agree with Alex that opportunity has been presented here, and we have had chances in the past to take advantage of anything that came our way, and we have failed, guys. This time we cannot afford to fail. But on the plus side for the Celtic support, they'll be able to watch the Rangers games without any interruptions.
But they always do, mate. They always do. They always do.
Well said, Fox. Well said.
So there's questions to be answered. There's also the documents, the travel documents that you have to fill out when you're leaving the country. Enter Spain, you have to find Spanish Health Authority requires a form to completed within 48 hours of travel. Yeah, so that they know for their track and trace. So,
exactly. Also, like, who goes to Spain for a day?
I think, listen, mate, I don't mean to be the youngsters and football players, mate. They jump on flights like we used to jump on buses, mate. I don't want to say that's unusual for them to disappear for one night.
I know. To be fair, like kind of like I mean, I watched Sky Sports News earlier, and like Lennon, like one of the journalists said to him, "There's a growing rumour that he was there to talk to another team." Lennon was beaming. You could just see the rage in his face as if he wasn't angry enough, which is brilliant. That just makes it even better. So
that might be true. It might not be true. But
it's speculation. Just from a legal standpoint, speculation. Just to keep you, I'll keep you right there. Allegedly.
Aye, quite right, mate. Quite right. But the crux of the whole matter is, Bridge. The crux of the whole matter, right?
They should have done it anyway.
Aye, Bridge, man. With this pandemic, right?
As far as I'm concerned, Rangers, our club, have got a really good opportunity here to create a wee gap.
That was the point Alex was making, Bridge.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity. But we're going to remember the point Stardust has been emphasising, that these games that have been postponed are really just postponed games. And I don't think it's right that they're really just postponed games and they're just delaying Celtic winning 3 points here or 3 points there. I think it's a weak way out, but it's probably, at the present moment, it's probably the only way out they've got. And they're just giving the benefit of the doubt to the club, or they're seeing the club okay. I think it's wrong, but I don't know what they could do about it, other than they must lose the points. They should lose the points, particularly for Saturday's game. They should lose that, or Sunday's game, sorry. But other than that, I think Rangers have got a really, really good chance. And I think all the Rangers fans, certainly all the Rangers fans I know, and the boys on here for sure, will be thinking the same thing. We've got a really good opportunity to build a little gap. All we need to do is watch for P's and Q's, continuously watch for P's and Q's. Any other player steps out of line, the manager's got to hammer them. So none of this nonsense about they're going to get caught with COVID and all that nonsense. Get it sorted out inside your head and let's see it okay. And on the park, win the game. Just win the game, get 3 points every week, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Right. This is a different ball game for the Aberdeen scenario, Stardog, yeah?
Yes, 100%.
All right. What they done was ultimately irresponsible, but what he done was he broke
good
the guidelines.
Sleek it.
He broke the guidelines, you know.
Yeah, they were the Aberdeen players last year, what you would call as immature. He was selfish. The club themselves were selfish, mate. You know, in my opinion, I don't think it should be protected anymore. I mean, what's your personal opinion on the Sky deal last year? It was about £160 million deal that's been pumped up into this country. A league that's still, by the way, not without a sponsor. We still don't have a sponsor for the league. You know, they must be sitting here looking at us going, why did we give them all that money? They can't keep it together up there. They don't know how to run a league. We actually do not know how to run a league. And how would we feel as Rangers fans had that been two of our players that are affecting our team and affecting our team's progression? It's selfish, mate, and from a Scottish football point of view, it's not good enough, because the full of Scottish football, we might not get the chance, mate, to create any gaps, because by the sounds of it, one mere slip up for anybody else and it's all just going to get shut down and forgotten about, because we clearly can't be trusted.
All right, we've been joined by caller. Evening, caller.
Evening.
How we doing, mate? All right?
I'm very good, thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me on your show again.
Can you tell everybody who you are, mate?
My name's Tommy McMillan.
How we doing, Tommy? Nice to speak to you again, mate.
Yeah. What I was going to ask you is why are Kilmarnock playing tomorrow night?
Well, well, put my professional head on, mate. If you have a test and it tests negative, and you're not getting any symptoms, you can still go to your work, mate.
I just thought with the Celtic player. I mean, with the Celtic player, I thought what you said was talking about.
Bolingoli get within 2 metres of anything by the time he was on the park, mate.
Do you think that's his career over?
Who cares?
I'd give him a 5-year contract there, if personally. You know?
I just think it's.
Well,
I would
be surprised. I would be surprised, and I'll take this to JFK. I'll be surprised if he's still with him when the window closes. JFK.
It's not going. It's not going to happen. He's gone, you know. But no, the Kilmarnock thing is a nonsense. It's the Jason Leach explained it all the night. Why Kilmarnock were allowed to play, and it's they didn't do anything wrong. So I'm happy for Kilmarnock to play tomorrow night. But just to say, there's breaking news that Celtic have been forced to quarantine their entire first team squad. They will now have to play with the kids for the next fortnight. A club source said that's absolutely fantastic.
Oh, well. That puts them under the spotlight again.
Yeah.
It's like the other callers have been saying. It is a great opportunity for us to get the points in the bag. You get the points in the bag and get the games under their belt. It's like you were saying before, they've got a Scottish Cup semi-final. Then if they get to the final, if they get through the next round of the Champions League, they've got some games to cover in. And you're right about the 2008 scenario. It was them who blocked us. They blocked us. It was them in the XP. You know, they were the ones who blocked us.
Tommy, just cutting across you. Did you see a story that broke the day about Zenit St. Petersburg and the doping scandal with the Olympic, the Russian Olympic doctor?
No, go on. What's the
seriously,
catch?
mate, no technically P. There was a story broke the day that Zenit are up to their eyes in drugs abuse with the Olympic doctor. With the Russian Federation back as it was, and it ran about between 2002 and 2011.
All right, another dodgy episode in our fantastic careers, because after what happened in Marseille, you just wonder, don't you?
Aye, that would be just like the thing, yeah.
Well, we know what happened in Marseille. I mean, they cheated their way to the final, didn't they? So you just wonder. I just hope that we just do what we've got to do in the park.
Here, Tommy. How do you think things are going on in the park, mate? Just
what I've seen so far, they look. They look good. They look good. I'm still worried about what's going to happen in Morelos. I don't know whether he'll stay or whether he'll go. I mean, I'd like to see what happens in these two boys that they've signed. The boy Ruff, and the boy Itten. I think they'll be quite good players, but I don't know. I mean, and I love the boy Balogun at the back. Looks really class.
So far, so good, mate. Aye, so far, so
brilliant.
Good.
I mean, and it's good that they can let Alan McGregor have a bit of a rest, because the boy McLaughlin looks okay.
Aye, he's. I think a lot of people have been impressed with him, Tommy. I'll take that to Bridgeman. Bridgeman, Tommy's point. McLaughlin, people.
Yeah, I think McLaughlin. I quite like watching our goalkeepers, and and we're centre halves and defence in general. But I think the goalkeeper is a hit for me. Is a big hit for me. A good reserve, but quality.
After watching the St Mirren game there at the weekend, I thought, the way they set up shops at Mirren, I always like to hear people saying that, that these teams come there and they park the bus, and you think, well, I remember, I know you don't like it, I know you don't like us mentioning the other mob, but I remember when they played Manchester United and they parked the bus, and then they criticise the smaller clubs when they go to Parkhead for parking the bus. Well, that's what they did at the Rain Run against Manchester United, and you think, you've kept me right to criticise smaller clubs when they park the bus.
You mean that team across the city is full of hypocrisy? Is that what you're saying, Tommy?
Well, God forbid that's what I said. Aye, sorry.
You made a good point, well made there, Bridgeman, innit?
Aye. There's so much hypocrisy coming out of that area, particularly since that PR mob took over. It's just unbelievable stuff. Just unbelievable.
It just makes you. It always makes you laugh, as they say. The people have a go at the smaller clubs. St Mirren came to Ibrox. They set up shop. They were there to frustrate Rangers, and this is where we need. I think Rangers need. They need a ball winner in the middle of the park and a guy that's going to create. I think they need somebody. They need a Stephen Davis of 10 years ago.
And who would your ball winner be? Ian Ferguson.
Ian Ferguson, yep. I mean, they were great.
Nigel Spackman.
I just think we need a ball winner.
Yeah, all right. I don't think you're alone in that. JFK.
Nah, Tommy, I'm with you there, pal. We need somebody in the middle there, a ball winner. And like yourself, I'm hoping that Alfredo stays, but I'm not as apprehensive as you are. I think in the last week or so, I think we've seen a lot of developments there in Lille. That seems to be the only club that's looking to buy him. I think he'll still stay with us, mate. I'm hoping. I'm
hoping you're right, because I think the boy knows where the back of the net is. He knows where the goals are, and he knows where the back of the net is. So yeah, I hope he stays. I hope he stays as well.
Is there anywhere else in the team, Tom, you think we should strengthen?
Since the boy Balogun came in, and when Katic comes back, I'm not a big Connor Goldson fan, I'm afraid, and I'm definitely not a James Tavernier fan. But yeah. I think
to be fair, Tommy, Goldson this season has looked a better player.
Oh, he did make one. I mean, don't get me wrong, he got caught out twice on Sunday against Mirren, and that's St Mirren. If that would have been that mob or Aberdeen or something else, we could have been punished. He got caught out twice on Sunday.
Aye, he did on the ball his feet.
You're right.
So they be mistakes can cost you games.
Before they can play games.
I just think these sort of mistakes can cost you. When you're under no pressure. I mean, he wasn't under any pressure when the boys got the ball off him. There was no pressure. So you think, and it's got to be hard playing in an empty stadium.
I think,
Tommy, can you tell me why they took the crowd noise off at half time for the second half?
Yeah, I can, Tommy, but I need to tell you fair.
All right, okay.
Look at it. If you've got it recorded, Tommy, see if you've got the game recorded, pal. Go and listen to it again.
Jimmy.
You'll enjoy it.
I thought we played really well. We played well.
Can I come in and speak to Tommy there just for a second?
Yeah, I think swap.
Not at all. No, I'm just going to say to Tommy about Big Golson. I think you'll find that Golson will be the number one name as a centre half for Rangers for the rest of the season, and he'll partner Balogun. He'll partner Balogun. 100% sure of that.
I don't think you're wrong. I think Nicola Katic will do well to get back in the side. Unfortunately, at the minute.
Tommy, they took the soundtrack off because you heard Bridgeman shouting at James Tavernier through the tannoy, mate.
And some of the language there was kids watching.
I just wondered where it was. I thought it was. I mean, I said to the wife, I'm surprised they're allowing some of this singing going on in Rangers TV.
Here's Tommy, you're live.
Sorry.
Listen. Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
But we're doing okay. I think we're doing okay.
Okay, right. We've reached that time of the evening, and we're going to have a tune. So, Tommy, you're welcome to hang on after the tune, or it's up to your good self, mate. Get yourself
I'm quite happy, mate. No problem. Thank
Put
you.
your phone on mute, mate. Everybody get on mute, and we'll have a tune from Old School Blue, or the producer Fox.
Ever since I recall, I have followed football, and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad times, of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was a lass, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue, and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. And I vowed to my dad, if I would have a lad, I would show him the way, as he did on that day. And so here I stand with young Lyle by the hand, after walking down Paisley Road West. For when I was a lass, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue, and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. There's a great sense of pride that I feel deep inside as I'm watching the Jazz with my father and son. And it's sure safe to say, at the end of the game, win or lose, we will all fall. For when I was a lass, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue, and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. From that day I'll be Rangers for life. From that day I'll be Rangers for life.
Well, thanks for that. I know Bridge likes that one, a wee slow
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I liked that. That was brilliant.
Mrs. Bridge. Is that true they call it a hand on the bum dance, Bridge?
I tell you what, JFK could tell you these terms. I don't know much
I've
about
seen
these
JFK.
terms.
He wasn't a waltzer.
No,
I don't believe that for a minute.
I used
He's
to
a
have a
mini
lot.
man. You're a wee mini guy, wouldn't you?
Oh no, I used to have a lot of hair. I used to have a bit of head banging and all
All
that.
right.
He never went on the waltzers, but he wasn't a waltzer. Right, so people want to join us. What's the number, Bridgeman?
The number's 0141 356 1972.
Can you give that again, Stardog, just in case Port Bear's listening?
Certainly, mate. The number is 0141 356 1972.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in a call. The technical Terry, Old School Blue, or the new producer, the Fox. The producer. I think he'll get himself mixed up with Edward Woodward, won't he? I think he's equal like.
Tell you what, he started to run a tight ship, isn't he? He runs a tight ship. This new producer rules.
You ought to heard him, by the way. You were getting your P45. It was it for me sticking up for you today. You were gone.
Aye,
gone.
What was that for?
But by the way, you weren't the first one that was getting the guy with the bad limeage. You had to stick up for him as well.
Yeah. What about the guy that forgot the phone number? What about him?
He's gone anyway.
Right. Can I say something about the Paisley Road West tune?
Yes, mate. Yes.
The girl is, as far as I know, nobody actually knows her name apart from the producer musician who asked her to sing it as a friend of hers. Absolutely wonderful voice she's got. She's a bit of a mystery as far as I know.
We need to do a bit of tracking and tracing. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, what a voice she's got.
Get it out there on Facebook. We want to know who that is singing that because we love it, don't we?
Oh, it's a tremendous tune. It was a guy called Orange Fridge. He's a producer musician and he loves the Paisley Road West song, so he asked a friend to sing it. And she gladly said yes, but he's not put her name on. Maybe for whatever reason he's done that. But she's got a fantastic voice. It's a cracking tune.
Aye.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoys it. At first we thought it was Little Blue, didn't we?
I think, well, hearing Little Blue's voice, I think she could probably hold that tune, aye.
The voice of an angel.
Voice of an angel.
Where are we? Right, so we'll start moving on and looking at tomorrow night. We had a press conference for your manager today. I think it's only right that we hear from him, find out if we'll get any injuries, any knocks in the squad. So if you don't mind, get yourself a mute and we'll hear from our manager, Steven Gerrard, MBE.
Not at the moment. Carry on, the mate. Carry on.
The producer's feel. JFK, the producer. You find that in a few minutes, folks. Give us a shout.
Some guy's this new producer, by the way.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Right, so we've got a game tomorrow night. Ibrox, St Johnstone. It's a game. Go to Tommy, then Bridgeman. It's a game we should always be favourites. Beat St Johnstone at Ibrox. Tommy?
Well, we should be favourites for that one. But I've seen St Johnstone come to our place, and again they'll stick the 10 men behind the ball and find out who's on the break.
Aye, that's what we have to watch most weeks at home.
Well, that's what teams are going to do. They're just going to, as I said to you before, as long as you get the 3 points.
Yeah, Bridgeman.
Right, pal.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay, bud?
Against St Johnstone, yeah.
Oh, yes. I think that...
again, we should have no fears,
We should have absolutely no fears against, virtually anybody in the league, but particularly clubs like St Johnstone, who will come and do a similar job to what St Mirren did to start the game off. And most assuredly, it'll be they like to call it the low block. And our team needs to wakey and get on and do it and just take the points off them. Mollocate them and take the points off them. That's what I want.
Second that.
We're 1-5 tomorrow night, Stardog. 1-5. Yeah.
Aye, no surprise, Oxford.
You have to put 5 on to get 6 back, mate, and they're 15-1.
Yeah. Aye, I'm not surprised, mate. Look, we've been playing some good football this year. St Johnstone, hammer away that they've caused us problems in the past, mate. Obviously, they must have. They missed their game at the weekend, Oxford. So they'll be a bit fresher. But although I'm seeing the manager doesn't quite see it like that. He wanted the boys to get minutes on their belts. He wanted them to get their game of football. Obviously, they didn't get that. So look, it's important we remain patient. We know what we're in for. We've seen this story before. Teams will come to Ibrox and they'll shut up shop. that'll be the case all season. But we've got to remain patient, mate, but batter them at the same time. Don't give them a minute, but just be patient and try and break them down, because we will do it eventually, mate. And when we get that first goal, you've got to capitalise there and go and get the second and the third, mate, and make a real difference in the game and put some daylight between you and that team, because we know what these
goal difference as well, yeah. Anyway, the producers now go to the press conference. Get yourselves on mute, and we'll hear from our manager.
Morning, Stephen. Ali DeFoy, Football Show here. After last night's meeting with the National Clinical Director, Jason Leach, what procedures at the club are you happiest with, and are you putting any extra measures in place with the players in regards to COVID?
No, I don't think we're putting any extra measures in, but what we are doing is going to remind everyone of our responsibility and our behaviours during this current time. Up to now, I think everyone's done extremely well here at Rangers. The medical department have been fantastic and first class ever since lockdown, really keeping us updated with the situation. But it's just reminders really to the players and to the staff that, you know, we have to behave in the right way and keep doing the right things.
Thank you.
Charles Patterson. Hi, Stephen. The Scottish Government have said that they would consider pausing the football season in light of the latest breach. How worrying is that, and do you think that the message has been hammered home now to all players?
Well, it should have been. It certainly has, in terms of me being on that chat yesterday. You know, the severity of the chat, how important it is that everyone behaves in the right way, and it is a concern and it is a worry, because if mistakes continue to happen, there's no doubt about it that the football season will be cancelled, and that's not what I want or what anyone wants at Rangers, or I assume throughout Scottish football.
Gabriel, go ahead.
Hi, Stephen. A week ago, you said that you felt Morelos' head had been turned, but how impressed and how important is it to you, his performance at the weekend, scoring 2 goals, and is he still very much a Rangers player?
100%. He's a Rangers player. I think you could see that in his performance the other day. He was really strong from the first minute to the last. He's a big player for us. He's very important. Nothing's changed in terms of his situation, so he'll be in the squad for tomorrow's game, and we move forward. It's only normal that players' heads turn when there's so much noise in the outside in terms of the media. When players know that there's other teams chasing them, big teams. I think it's pretty normal, so we understand it and we respect the situation that Alfredo's in, but the important thing and the vital thing is he respects the supporters here at Rangers, he respects the club and continues to keep doing his job in the right way.
Andrew McLean.
Hi, Stephen. Just going back to the meeting with the National Clinical Director yesterday, how constructive did you feel that was, and what were the main points you took away from it?
Look, it was very constructive. I think the reason they wanted it on a Zoom is for it to remain private and confidential, but the message was certainly sent home in terms of how we need to behave and our responsibilities as managers and players and clubs to make sure that we continue to do the right things. And I think that's how I'd like to leave it. I don't really need to say any more on that. We will be sent a video from the Zoom call, so we can send reminders to the players and the staff at the club what we need to do moving forward. But it is a wake-up call and a strong message from the government, and also some reminders of what could possibly happen if mistakes continue to happen, and that's not what anyone wants.
David Edgar, please.
Hi, Stephen. Watching the game back from Sunday yesterday, one thing that really struck me was the fluidity of the front four and how much they seem to interchange. It seems to particularly given a new lease of life to Joe Aribo, or rather let him express himself more creatively. Is this something that you've worked especially on with those boys? Because, as I say, it was noticeable almost how automatic it was that they would exchange positions.
Yeah, it is definitely something we've worked on. Not just this season, we worked on it a lot throughout our time, but we do want to give players like Joe that licence to go and roam and be free and express themselves, because that's how we feel we'll get the most out of them individuals, the talented players. We don't want them to be hemmed into one position, if you like. So that's not just for Joe, it's for all the attacking players. As long as you respect the position, respect the shape of the team and the organisation out of possession, when we're in possession, we want to make it as difficult as we can for opposition teams. You know, we are going to get a lot of teams that come and sit in a block and who are organised and try and, you know, derail us, if you like. So the more fluidity and people changing positions and causing as many problems for opposition teams, the better it is, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. Jordan Campbell, please. Hi, Stephen. Last season, a couple of times you spoke about your team trying to be as relentless as possible at Ibrox. At the weekend, I thought the pressure you were able to put on St Mirren was quite impressive. It's in terms of Leon Balogun, how important is he in playing that higher line compared to, you know, at times last season, and how impressed have you been by him?
I've been very impressed, not just with the player. We knew we were adding a fantastic player because we'd followed him and tracked him for quite a while. Also spoke to Paul Cook at Wigan in great detail about him, who was very complimentary. So we knew we were getting a top player. But since he's come in the door, he's been fantastic in training. He's been really good around the place in terms of his character. You can see clearly he's a winner. And he's our type and he fits our profile because he's quick. So, you know, the likes of the Ibrox, when we want to go and put pressure on teams, it is important that defenders are capable of defending the halfway line, and he certainly is.
Thanks, Stephen. Ronnie, go ahead.
Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
Just wondering if you feel there's any benefit from St Johnstone having no game at the weekend while you carried on?
Possibly. You know, they've had obviously longer to prepare. You know, in terms of tactically and stuff, I'm sure the players will be eager for a game of football in terms of their freshness. But I've also just read something that their manager said where it's not ideal, because I think at this stage of the season it's games that get players individually and it's games that get units into a rhythm, if you like. So we feel as if we're right into our rhythm. You know, having the extra couple of games we feel has been a big benefit. So there's probably pros and cons to that situation in terms of St Johnstone, but that's their concern. Mine is, where's my team at? Where are we at individually and collectively? Today we're on a second day, so it'll be really light in terms of the recovery, and we'll be ready to go again and come out the blocks as quick as we can tomorrow.
Any changes to your squad?
Yes, we will have changes to the squad, which you'll see tomorrow.
Roman, go ahead.
Hi, Stephen. Stephen, you got the two players up top to add to your attacking prowess. Is it just one player in the engine room that you're looking for to complete your kind of squad, or you want more than that? And also, if I may, there were reports suggesting that there was interest in Borna Barisic from Leeds. Have you heard anything concrete or not in terms of interest for Borna?
No, Borna's focused here. He's signed a long contract. He's really settled. He's in good form. We're delighted to have him. Nothing's come to us in terms of that situation. But it's no surprise because, you know, obviously, you know, he was in the running for Player of the Year last year, very consistent. So I think for all our players that have been performing extremely well, I expect there to be quite a bit of noise and some interest in the players. That's just the way it is. We accept that. But nothing's changed in terms of bids hitting the table. The only person I can give you something on is Greg Doherty. There's interest from down south. You know, and he's obviously considering his options right now.
And in terms of, you were saying last week you want a player in the engine room, are you any closer to that? And would that be your set complete?
No, we're no closer to it, but it is a situation that we're still analysing. In terms of whether that would be us 100% set and complete would depend on what goes out the door and also what comes available as the window comes on. But I said the majority of our business is done, but I definitely do want to add another midfielder.
Right, thanks for that, Fox. All right, boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Can I ask Fox to bring back Tommy if possible, mate? So we a couple of things stood out for me. Obviously, they talked about the COVID thing and at the start, but talking about the game tomorrow night and possible movements in and out. First of all, we picked out there's going to be changes. Does that intimate to anybody that Roof's going to be in the squad tomorrow? JFK.
Yeah, I think it does, mate. I think we spoke about it the other day. Yep, I think there's a good chance it'll get a good minutes tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's something we need. I think it'll be at the expense of Hadji.
I don't think he'll start. I don't think he'll start, mate.
You think, Mel? Okay.
No, I think he said this when he said the squad. He was very careful. Yeah.
Yeah. But we will see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him.
Carry on, JFK.
I think he will play. Maybe you might be right. He might not play for the start, but I definitely looking forward to watching him. He's a player that excites me, and I'm looking forward to see what he can do. He's a right winger, mate, as well as a striker, but he plays great in the right. He's a cracking player, and he might be the foil that Alfredo needs. We just need to wait and see. Looking forward to it. On St Johnson game, can I just say?
Let me just take this round. I'll come back to you, mate.
Right.
Stardog, how did you see that hint for the gaffer there?
It could simply mean that McGregor's coming back, mate. For me, I don't think we'll see Ruffy tomorrow, but for me, I think McGregor might be coming back.
All right, never thought of that. Bridgeman?
I wouldn't be surprised if McGregor's fit, he'll go in the team, for sure. But the other players who are, on the new guys that are ready to shine on for us, I doubt very much if he'll bring anybody new in at the start-up. But I think within an hour, maybe half time, or depends what the score is, But I wouldn't be surprised if they saw the two new guys, two new forwards playing, getting a run out and see how they got on. Because we desperately need that, don't we? We need to be able to see them and let the other players get the feel next to them, to how good they are, what their range is, and so on and so forth. Be interesting to see. But I'm only looking for 3 points. That's all I want. Just give me 3 points.
I've got you down for a 1-0. Tommy, you're back with us. Yeah, we had to wrap you, mate, because your phone picks up a lot of noise and it was playing. You were cutting across our manager, mate, and we can't have that.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry.
You're a shocker, Tommy. A shocker.
You wouldn't know that, Tommy, but we heard you. All right. So you put your phone on mute, mate, and then there's no an issue. Did you hear the press conference?
I did.
Right. What's your views on Steven Gerrard? What he intimated? Do you think Roof will be on the squad tomorrow, or do you think Alan McGregor? Why start?
Well, I'd like your man said, if McGregor's fit, he's going to pick him, isn't he? If he's fit, he's going to pick him. Even at 90%, Alan McGregor, I think he'll pick him. I think he trusts Alan McGregor, and he'll pick him.
All right. JFK, you were going to make a point there?
I think tomorrow night's game against St Johnstone will be a harder game than the St Mirren game, but I think we'll still win it quite comfortably. I think because a lot of people are thinking, they've not had a lot of game time because of the Aberdeen game was cancelled, but I think it'll be the same again, 5, maybe 6 across the back.
Would you take the same result as Sunday now?
Of course I would. Of course I would. 3-0 will do me, mate. I'm all right with that.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said before, 1-0 in every game. 38 games, 1-0, we've won the league. But we want to be entertained. I'll take a 3 or 4-0, mate.
They call that the Bridgeman theory.
The Bridgeman theory. It's quite a good theory, that is. Yeah. It's not a conspiracy, it's just a theory.
Aye. We've been joined by Wheels. Evening, Wheels.
How are we, gents?
How you doing, Wheels?
Not too bad. How's yourself, Bridge?
Getting there, pal. Thanks. Getting there.
Excellent. Good to hear. How's the rest of you guys?
Good. Right. I just back to Spain at the weekend. I'm going up to see Fox tomorrow night. Everything's rosy in my garden.
Excellent. Right. Let's
you
see.
don't miss that joke, yeah?
Here, you don't want to go see Fox. You'll end up getting kidnapped.
It'll be the first time we've had a lost weekend, me and Fox. Right, make your point, and then we can see the back of you.
That's not very nice, Fox. I thought you missed me. No, right. Listen, I don't want to say too much on the other lot because that's not what the show's about. But what I will say is this week is now a massive chance for us.
Here.
Do you know what I mean? This is a huge opportunity for us. We could be 8 points clear by the end of the week, and to me, that puts them under instant pressure. It's came out tonight that their postponed games won't be played until next year, which creates a fixture pile-up for them towards the end of the season, which would just be lovely, if you ask me. As for tomorrow, in terms of what Stevie was saying, changes, I agree with Stardog. I think it will just be McGregor back in. I'm a big believer in if it's no broke, don't fix it. Do you know what I mean? And things have been going well for us at the start of the season, so I don't see any point in making any major changes, really.
Mm-hmm. I think Ruth will be on the bench. Tommy, do you think Ruth will get on the bench and get some minutes?
I think if he's got his fitness, I think he'll be on the bench. I'm looking forward to seeing this boy. I mean, they've been raving about him when he played at Leeds, and he looks a good all-round player.
Aye, okay, mate. I'm looking forward to him as well. Wheels, your point great about getting points on the board. First and foremost, I'd like us to win the game by minimum 2-0 tomorrow night, because we then go sit top of the table.
Yeah,
which is where I want to see us, and I want us to stay there. Bridgeman.
Sorry there, pal, I couldn't get off of mute properly. So, what was it you were saying? Apologies. I lose my train of thought.
You weren't listening. There's nothing.
I was listening intently.
So what did I say then?
I don't know. It's gone.
Oh, yeah. You're a legend.
No, that's not the word I would call him. Yeah.
No, that's why I said that word, mate.
We've been told not to swear in this programme, so watch your language, guys.
You've been caught again. When you're in a hole, don't dig. Stardog, what's your thoughts?
Yes. Look, it's important, mate, to get the points on the board. All we can do is keep winning our next games. Look, whether they get picked their fixtures back to next year, that's not relevant to me.
I'm not even mentioning the name Stardog. What I'm saying is, I want us to win the game minimum 2-0 tomorrow night. Forgetting about them, we're sitting top of the league.
Aye, 100%. All we can do is keep winning games, Oxshire. 100%, mate. That's all we can do, is just keep getting the 3 points on the board. And I, like you say, with the goal difference as well, 2-0 does it for me, but I'm looking for a wee bit more than 2 tomorrow.
Bridge, it was you that made the point last year. We never had to go top of the league. That's the point.
Absolutely, pal. Absolutely. And, now we should hopefully pile that pressure on. But we have to do it. We have to go and win more games, and not a better place to win more games than at Ibrox. What an opportunity. Seriously opportunity. Really good opportunity. I don't know. I think some of our opponents or shall we say the team that was joint top of the league with us, I think they were playing tonight. I don't know the score or anything like that. But they had an opportunity to go ahead in the top of the league, and we'll catch them up tomorrow if that's the case. I'm very confident.
They were winning 1-0 with 5 minutes to go.
Finish 1-0, guys.
Yeah. Then so they're if we win our game, we need to win by more than one goal. Simple as that. And 3-0, I think Jimmy mentioned it earlier. 3-0 suits Jimmy. It'll suit me as well. Yeah. Personally, because it's St Johnson and they've got number 29 playing for them, I hope we out there and absolutely mollocate them and get 5 or 6 in, just like Jimmy's asking for us against St Mirren.
Will I change that? You're going for a 5-0 victory?
No, I'm going for 2, but I hope it's a 5-0.
Oh, number 2 is his new number this season, Oxdale.
Aye.
Davo, you're mad, eh?
Just to let Stardog know, I believe that Portbear has went for a third job as a bingo caller, but he failed miserably.
Got numbers mixed up.
Why does that not surprise me, Oxshire? Why does that not surprise me?
What are the numbers mixed up, mate?
No, I wouldn't like him to work in a restaurant either, just in case somebody ordered a steak.
No, not at all. Wheels. Big game tomorrow night. Hard to believe St Johnstone at Ibrox, third game of the season, but in the whole scheme of things, it's a big game.
Oh, it is, mate. And Bridge said it many times last season. Every game's a massive game for us, but especially with the situation now. I've got a really good feeling this season. I know the last couple of seasons, whenever we had opportunities, we stupidly threw them away. I really don't see us doing that this season. See dropping your points against your Hamiltons, your St Johnsons, whoever it might be, the lower ranked teams. I really don't see us doing that this season, and the way that we've started, gives me great confidence. We're solid at the back. I really don't see us conceding many goals this season. We're really solid at the back. Which
funny, but defence wasn't the issue last season, even when you looked at the stats.
It was obviously the second half of the season, certainly putting the ball in the back of the net was
I'm going to bring in the producer who wants to give me his team for tomorrow night.
All right,
Mr. Producer.
My team tomorrow night would be a 4-2-3-1. McLaughlin in goal, a back four, a Tavernier, Goldson, the big fella, his name escapes me now. Balogun, yes, a big showgun because he's a warrior, isn't he? And Barisic, the two in the middle, Joe Aribo and Ryan Jack. And up front, it would be Roof, Moreles, and Kent, with Itten up front as the striker.
Oh,
give me your front, the front six again, Fox.
The two midfielders would be Jack and Aribo.
Right.
And up front, I'd have Ruth, Moreles and Kent, and Itten up front.
Oh, that is
very interesting.
Very adventurous, and that's what people have been crying out for at Ibrox. Mr. Stardog.
100%, mate. You know something, Foxy boy? I love that team. I really do love that team. You know how long I've been saying about the 4-2-3-1. You're ultimately lean Ryan Jack as your only midfielder because we know Joe Aribo likes to push on forward. So having Roof on the right, Morelos going through the middle as your number 10, the boy Itten up front with Kent on the left, and Aribo pushing up to support them, mate. It's like a front five, and I love it. I love the sound of that, but I don't think that's what it'll do.
What do you think he'll do?
I think what he'll do is he'll play 4-2-3-1. It'll be McGregor will come back in nets. It'll be Tavernier, Golson, Balogun, Barisic, Kamara, Jack. I think Hadji should play out on the right, Aribo through the middle, Kent on the left, and Morelos up top, and the boy Itten and Roof on the bench. I think that's what he'll do, but I love Fox's team. I'd love to see that. I would.
Do you think that Big Hollander could get a shot? Maybe 32-year-old guy, maybe 2 games in 4 days, maybe think a wee bit of rotation, JFK?
No, I think Balogun's I think he's a diamond, mate. I think he's...
So would you trigger his extension now?
Yeah, I would, aye. My team would be obviously... I mean, I know McLaughlin's a cracking goalkeeper, but it'd still be McGregor and goal, Tav, Goldson, Edmondson, Barisic.
Edmondson?
Did I say it? Sorry, Balogun, sorry, did I say, because you said Edmondson. Kamara, Aribo and Jack, and I would like him to go with Roof, but I think he'll go with Hadji, Kent and Alfredo. I don't see the manager changing it for Enten. Fox's team and setup is absolutely fantastic. I'd love to see that. I don't think the manager, I think he's loath to change it that way, but it's a cracking setup that Fox has put out there. And if it did happen tomorrow night, then I would love to see that. But I think he'll stick with the 4-3-3. So we're back for Barisic, Edmondson, Goldson, Tavernier from left to right.
Wheels, do you know what time the show's on tomorrow night?
I believe it's 8 till 10, is that right?
No, we keep changing it, but we tell all our friends, all right?
Oh, right. See, I said that, I was thinking that, I was like, have they done this just to try and catch me
out? When are you in the house tomorrow night, so we know what time the show's on. We'll be joined by George Fogan. All right, Wheels, good on you, mate. Good man.
How's all doing tonight, boys? All right?
All right, Georgie boy.
Right, boy.
Aye, like I said last night, exciting times. I think we've got players, we're saying different teams, and I didn't want to go with attacking formations because that's not what the manager's got to do, wants to do, Ox, but I think he's got the kind of players now where he can do that, Ox. I mean, I think, I hope McGregor's back in goals more a bit. If he's no back in goals, I've got every confidence in the boy McLaughlin. I said that. I think he's probably the best keeper we're going to get. Who's got to want to? Kenny's got to be able to be on the bench most of the season because he's not going to be able to take McGregor's place. So I think we're safe enough there. Barisic, two big centre halves have not done nothing wrong for me either. So I think they'll probably start the same way. Tav, I'll take Jack in the sitting, like I says. Kent on the left, Aribo in front of Jack, Hadji on the right, and then I would say the big hit and Morelos up front. We've got the players to date now, Ox 4-4-2. We can attack teams and really batter teams. I wouldn't have had the confidence last year of saying that, but I think we've got the confidence now in the team now to be able to go forward and say, Kenzo, and let's actually make a game of this and show what we can actually do on the ball.
Is that came about because of the pace of Big Balogun at the back, George?
Well, Ox, I've been struggling to fall in love with our centre halves. I fell in love with Big Katic, but he's got a bit of stake in him. Big Golson, I've not been able to take to him, but Big Balogun's maybe making Golson look good. I don't know what it is, but the two of them are working well together. The big guys, for me, he's the one that's excited me the most out of our centre halves we've had the last couple of years. So that's what makes me think we can actually go with one sitting midfielder now and actually attack teams and try and play a bit of football.
All right, Tommy, what's your set-up tomorrow night, mate?
I think the team that started against St Mirren will be the team that starts again tomorrow night. I don't think he'll change too much. I think he'll have the boy Eaton and the boy Roof on the bench. But I think he'll have near enough the same side as he picked on Sunday. I don't think he'll change it too much.
All right, Wheels?
Ox, as I said earlier, mate, I'm no for changing it if it's no broke. But I would obviously have, McGregor would always be my number one keeper. Can I just really quickly say something on the goalkeeper situation, right? Why did we let that boy Yannick go? Where did that performance come from?
Mate, he had a good game, so ultimately he's just not up to the standard we require. He made some excellent game saves and
that one he saved for Tavernier.
I mean, he's got to save that, mate.
Aye.
He's got to save that, isn't he? JFK?
Of course, aye. I mean, look, somebody said on here and before the game there that Alnwick would probably have a worldie game and it might come back to haunt us, and it nearly did. But honestly, Wheels, I don't rate him as a goalkeeper. I'm glad we got rid of him. I like to have kept big Ford, but I'm very, very happy with John McLaughlin. So
he did save them for tanking, though, Jeff.
He did, mate. He did.
It'd easily been 6 or 7.
They were not good saves, but saves he should have made, mate.
Yeah. He made the Tavernier save. Tavernier's shot was a Hollywood save. I could have saved that, and I'm nearly
one for the cameras.
I'm nearly as big as Ox here, so I could have probably just used that.
Listen, JFK, I did a gag zone here. They might not be very good, but I dare them.
Hey, do you know something? There was little and large, mate, but there's no many large and larges out there, is there? Oh, dear.
Oh, dear. The show sponsored by Castor.
Aye.
Oh, dear. Stardog, I don't know if you picked up, and the accused Rooney Ibrox again today, mate.
Oh, I've seen it on social media, Oxford, What can you actually say about our fans, all? And we really are just the best. We're the best supporters in the planet, mate. We really are. The money that the club's seen for the fans now, we've spoke about it numerous times on here. It's been long overdue. The fans deserve it. The club deserves it, and we're starting to see it now, mate. We're starting to see, what should we say? The fruits of our loins. Would you say? Do you know what I mean? We're getting there, mate, slowly but surely, and it's only going to be a positive thing. And the Rangers fans, mate, you keep putting it out there and they'll just eat it up, mate. They'll eat it up all day long, so they will. And that's what we're all about as supporters, mate. We're the best supporters in the world.
Put your hand up if you said Alan McGregor was playing tomorrow night.
Me.
I think I'll play him all right.
Only if he's fit.
I've been sure he's part of the RTV panel tomorrow night.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, so he's not fit.
Right, okay.
But only time will tell. Only time will tell. Well, if he's not 100% fit, why risk him? Yeah.
Agreed.
Does anybody know what the injury actually is?
Inside his groin, I believe.
Right.
It's an old injury.
Ah, right.
I heard
I'm
he
with
was
you.
I heard he was stood at the stood at the airport pointing his finger at ball and golly. Ah!
That's quite good, Jimmy. I must admit, that's brilliant.
I can't believe it, Stardog.
Well said, JFK.
Can he go?
Well said.
Can he go?
Stardog.
He's picked up an Oxchair's joke. He's all latched onto that. You know, I can't believe what we're dealing with here.
Stardog, as Ox said himself, he does the gags. It doesn't necessarily mean they're good.
That one was too complicated for you, Wheels.
I think
George
Logan.
George.
How you doing, boys?
Right, mate. This Custode deal, mate, it's just exploding, isn't it? Have you spoke to any of your mates about it, mate?
I have, Ox, and that's what happens when we put two good things together. You can do this, Ox. We've been wanting this for ages, and I said it for I don't know how long. We were buying our strips in a jumbo sale, Ox, and that's what it was. I wouldn't silly myself to get into that show any other time unless it was connected with Rangers, and that was the only time I did go. Now I've got a good bit of business with a good contractor, good for everybody, Ox, and look what's happening. It's all, and I said it last season as well, Ox, and I'm no beating about the bush. The players let us doing last year because everything was going great, Ox. Everything's going great again now. The board's doing well. The strips are flying off the shelves. The board are doing well. The manager's doing well. The fans are buying season tickets. We're not even allowed to go and watch games, go and see games. That's how big our club is. We're selling out season tickets. We can't even get to go and see our game, our team, Ox. Now we're that excited about getting to see our team and things like that. We're just going out and buying them anyway. So it's all good at our club now, Ox. It's all positive, and let's keep it going like that. And that's why I say about our team, the Mora, let's go out attacking. Let's play a bit of football because we can do that now. I think we've got the squad and the players on the park to actually be able to go out and take numbers off the teams now, Ox. So that's why I'm excited about the coming season.
Very good.
I just got some breaking news, but it's only don't shoot the messenger. Rumours reported that 2 Russian teams potentially in for Kamara with £10 million offers.
Oh,
now,
take it.
Because it's only pure speculation. But if it turned out to be true, just quickly, yes or no, JFK, you've colours to the mast right away, Bridgeman.
Did you say Kamara? Aye.
Yes.
So just to make sure. I'd take the money, of course. Absolutely.
Wheels.
10 million. I'd take that.
George Logan.
100%, Ox.
Stardog.
I want 15.
Tommy.
Absolutely, Ox. Absolutely. It takes smash their hands off, Ox.
Look, mate. It's only don't say. I'm not saying it's true. It's just one of these social media stories, but it's all just broken
their hands off.
Yeah, but you never know. I think that's the model we've got. These players are coming in and they're playing a lot of games in Europe, so they're going to be under the microscope. Stardog.
100%, mate, and you know he's a Finland internationalist as well. He's a European experience on his belt. He's traded at Arsenal, mate. You know he's got a decent CV there. I know we don't see the Glenn Kamara that maybe we seen when he first came through the door, Austria, for the money we paid for that first 6 months. I thought it was absolutely superb for the team, mate. It was what the team needed at the time, I felt. 10 million for Glenn Kamara, I'd probably take it, mate, but I wouldn't have been in a rush to get rid of these guys. I wouldn't have really been in a rush to get rid of Kamara or Jack or anything. It's going to be a squad player, but 10 million's 10 million, isn't it, really? If you can get somebody in and improving that, somebody that's maybe better than Ryan Jack, that we've been, Glenn Kamara, what we've been talking about, somebody that improves in both boxes, then you've got to take it, mate. And 10 million's 10 million at the end of the day, but I'd hold it for 15.
George Logan.
I'm the same, Ox. I like Kamara the first few games and things like that. We paid 50 grand for him, and that's why I always say Rangers fans, Ox, it's not always going to be a £5 million player. We've just signed Jack for this, and we're signing strikers and that for good money. It's not always got to be like, maybe got to get a 500 grand player and things like that, and then maybe got to work out for you. But I think Kamara found his level in certain games, Ox, and I don't think I think he'd probably be the one for to drop out our team if a midfielder came in at all anyway, Ox. So I think that's where we need replacement.
All right, okay. Wheels.
Again, I'm the same. I thought it was an absolute bargain when he first joined us, and it was, he was great the first 6-12 months it was with us. He's went a bit hot and cold, sometimes he'll have really good games, other times he'll be a bit of a passenger. I'm just seeing there that Everton and Newcastle are also in for him, so maybe we'll get a wee bit of a bidding war if anything does come out.
Only time will tell me. It's pure speculation at the moment, just something I wanted to put out there for consideration. Right, let's go round the panel, get our thoughts on the result tomorrow night. We've had your teams. Bridgeman's went for 2-0. You stick with that, Bridge? You time to change your mind?
No, I'm quite happy to stick with that 2-0, but obviously I want more, and I'd like to see, I follow JFK when it comes to these things, I'd like to see a 5-0 mollication or more.
Mm-hmm. Tommy, how do you see the score going tomorrow night, mate?
I'll be quite happy with a 3-0 victory. A 3-0 and another performance like Sunday. A 3-0 victory, clean sheet, and a similar sort of performance. I'd be very, very happy.
Wheels?
I am going for the 3-0 as well, but I want to see a show tomorrow in terms of the football. I want to see some really, really good stuff tomorrow.
All right, Charles Logan.
I think it could still be a tricky wee game, Ox. We've got to be careful with these. As much as I'm bigging myself, our team up in that, we've got to be guarded against complacency and things like that in all these games, Ox, because that's where you're going to win leagues. But for me, we play football tomorrow, Ox. We win, so I'll go for a 2-0 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Stardog.
1-0 for me. Joe Aribo gets the winner.
All right. So we don't go top of the league again?
No, this week. But we'll have plenty of time for that.
All right, okay. JFK.
Joe Aribo.
4-0. 4-0. Alfredo hat-trick.
You stole my thunder.
I think we'll beat them tomorrow.
Stole my thunder, mate.
Sorry, mate. Okay, I'll go 3.5 then. If you want me to go 2.5 and we'll go toe to toe, that's up to you.
I was going for 4 myself, so I'll need to go for 5.
Oh, there you go.
So is that 4 for Alfredo then?
No. Just the 3. Just the 3. We're not greedy.
Would anybody like to see Borna Barisic back on the free kicks tomorrow if we get some outside the box, Oxshire?
I think some of the distribution for the set pieces, particularly the corners, was wasteful. Try to overhand.
Average at best, wasn't
it? I think the training part's the same size as Ibrox, so there's no reason that you can't get your weight. Bridgeman.
I agree there. By the way, speaking about the training part, I see it's all been dug up, ready to put down a 4G or whatever it be, plastic pitch they're putting down, or a woven one. So that'll be really cool for the training complex. But the pitch is in beautiful condition, and by the look of it anyway. And come on, it's Ibrox. We're playing against St Johnstone. Let's go there and do it. Just do it. Give me 3 points. Get me 3 points, Rangers. Come on.
Man, we talked about the set pieces. Stardog was asking you.
Set pieces, well, I agree with Stardog. I do. And yes, I do like to see Borna Barisic taking them. Mm-hmm. But I don't know whether Tavernier's pushing or making the decision as to who takes it. I really don't know. It's difficult to see because he's got a beautiful left hand.
I tell you, I mean, obviously, I'm no Stevie G, but when you coach teams, mate, you have areas in the pitch, and before you go in the park and at training, you decide who's taking them. Yeah? You draw it out for this area, Borna takes it for that area.
Yeah.
Tav takes it for there. If Hadji's on the park, he hits it. if it moves slightly that way, Borner hits it. All these things should be decided before you go in the park. That's what coaching is. Correct me if I'm wrong. JFK then.
Yeah, you read my mind there, mate. I was exactly thinking exactly the same. You know, I mean, far too often we're seeing Big Tav make a pig's
Great
ear or
minds
something.
seldom differ.
You know,
but
of
fools-
course, mate.
Fools all.
Yeah, of course, aye. But no, I'm a wee bit fed up watching Tavernier grabbing the ball and dictating who's going to take every free kick, etc., etc. You're 100% right. I've been thinking that the last few games we've been watching, friendlies and league games, and that. Wherever that player is in that part, you're right. That should dictate who takes that free kick, left, right, what way they know. And I'm pleased to see that we are doing that. So Barisic for me will do, but so will Hadji. We know Hadji can put a good free kick in. So let's a big man take a wee back step.
By the way, if Tav's not going to take it, sometimes he should go and join in.
Yeah.
Do you know also think that the form on that day, you know, if the person's form's there, if they're playing well, bit of confidence up, let them take it and do the business. Sometimes you get to, or someone takes it and they're not really playing very well, and you can see sometimes there's a clanger, you know.
But sometimes somebody can be having a clanger and they put one in the back of the net.
Oh, of course, pal, I understand that. But
That's the. I mean, that's for me. That's the coaching. You might even decide that two players can take it for a certain area on the day they decide, but most of it, Stardog should be dictated by this coaching staff, areas of the pitch, where you put the ball in.
100%. Yep. I think Hawkshaw, you know, I was mainly talking about the free kicks. The corners have been poor as well for Tavernier, mate. But, you know, if I've got a free kick at the right-hand side of the box, you know, for me, mate, that's man-made for Borna Barisic's left foot to get it up into the top corner, and vice versa. If it's the right-hand side, you know, you have Tava, you have Hadji on there, or Ryan Kent, whoever you want, mate. But for me, if it's in the right-hand side of the box, Barisic should always be on the free kicks, because for me, he's our free kick expert. He's a specialist at that. I think he scored 4 or 5 free kicks last season for his mate. So, you know, for me, Barisic has to be on the free kicks outside the box, because he's the most dangerous, and he's proven that. You know, Hadji had that one deflected one against Braga, as good as it was in the night. You know, he's no really showed us that he can do it on a constant basis, whereas Borna Barisic has, mate, and that was just my kind of point on that. I'd like to see him back on the free kick similar, and if Tavernier's delivery is bad for the first 2 corners, you get somebody else on. They get 2 shots. If it's rotten, you move on to the next guy.
Tommy?
Yep, totally agree. I like Borna. I like Big Borna. I mean, some of his crossings, some of his balls in are just absolutely wicked, and if somebody can get on the end there, it's even better. Tavernier, I think he's gone off the boil. I mean, when was the last time we scored a goal for a corner with Tavernier taking
it? Sunday, mate.
Oh, did we? All right, okay, I'll take it back then.
That was good. That was good, Tommy. Rock on, Tommy.
I just think, sometimes some of these corners.
Just to let you know, I did a gag zone here.
All right, sorry, mate. Sorry.
Only sometimes, New Yorkshire. Only sometimes.
I think he's gone off the boil. I think Tavernier's really gone off the boil. He's not been the same player for over a season. I just think he's gone off the boil. Is Stephen frightened of dropping him?
You know, can I just come in on that one? Do you know, Tommy, I agree to a certain extent. I was saying these things for the last couple of weeks there, but you know, in Sunday, Tavernier played not too bad, but his corner kicks, directly corner kick, and Morelos scored. So his assists are better. He had 2 good shots, and one of them was a cracking shot, and the goalkeeper made a really good save. So these kind of things, his eyes coming back, you know, his coordination's coming back by the look of it. So we might be getting him on the rise again, and I really hope it is, because when he was at the top of his form, he was a marvellous player for us.
Some of the free kicks. I remember the free kick he scored against Hibs at Easter Road in that Mickey Mouse Cup, and when he put it right in the top corner, oh, what a goal! So he knows where the back of the net is, and he did another one against Hibs in a league game at Ibrox. Put it right in the top corner, so he knows where the back of the net is with his free kicks.
Aye, Wheels.
Aye, so listen, I love a Borna free kick. See, whenever we get a free kick on that right hand side, as Stardog said, it's just made for him. But one thing I just want to say quickly in regards to the crosses, right? See, during the friendlies, our crossing was looking fantastic. And see if the boy Eaton was to get a run in the team, if we could get that crossing back, he would eat them up all day long. Yeah, I mean, those kind of crosses are made for him.
It's getting the shape right where you get crosses and get Eaton in the team as long as Morelos is there. And that'd be a big change for Stevie G, the JFK.
Definitely, mate. I totally agree with you. Look, whatever happens in the next few weeks. Oh shit! What the fuck happened?
On you go, JFK, Stardog.
Aye. Just like, it's important, mate, if you're going to be playing the ball Eaton in the team, you know, it's important, mate, that you're not only getting service into him, Oxford, but if the ball's coming back out the box, you've got bodies in the edge of the box waiting to pounce, maybe get a shot away. What we've seen a lot of crossing, mate, we were crossing for fullback to fullback at time last week, so, you know, we got there in the end up, mate, we broke the team down. I don't think Tavernier's really an issue. But, you know, if you're getting Eaton in the team, you've got to get Morelos in there for me as well. And Fox has said that with the number 10 position. I think it would be perfect for Alfredo Oxchair. But do we experiment with that now, or are we happy with what we've seen at the weekend? You know, because for me, he's still the number one man, Alfredo.
Wheels.
I just wanted to ask Stardog there, would you ever consider, Stardog now, with the signings that we've made, would you try the two up front at some point?
No.
Definitely not.
No. Never. Nope. You can play somebody behind them in a number 10 role, but I wouldn't play the two up front, no. No way.
Right, okay.
Right.
Tommy?
I mean, sometimes against these teams, to change the game, you could put Big Eaton up the front and hit the boys in, and hopefully he can lay them off for Morelos. I mean, I sometimes think if you can change it, be a big centre forward, you've got a chance. Sometimes, you know, it's the way, it's how you can change the game. You've got to be able to change the game. So if Big Eaton comes on and you can get the ball in the box to him and they can lay it off for Morelos, or even for Ryan Jack. I mean, Ryan Jack knows what about in it. So if you get, it's like the guy just said there, if you can get the ball and lay it off, you never know what's going to happen.
Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Over to Bridgeman.
Oh, what can I say? Again, a great night. Well done, Tommy. Marvellous stuff. Can I just say...
Thank you.
You're welcome, pal. You're welcome. Well done, Oxford. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers fans here on Rangers Radio, every single one is marvellous night tonight, good discussions, but over to tomorrow night, it's all about getting a victory. All about a victory. 3 points for the Rangers. Out there and mollocate them. Come on. Keep it going for the Rangers.
Wheels, you still here?
Yes, I am.
Do you mind dropping out? Because I'm just going to tell everybody when the show starts tomorrow. Listen,
I'll put my fingers in my ears, right?
All right. We'll be back at 6:45 tomorrow night with a pre-match show building up to St Johnstone game, and then approximately 15 minutes after the final whistle with a post-match show. This has been Rangers Radio. Thanks to all the callers who called in this evening, the boys on the phone, first-time callers and second-time callers. Thanks very much for helping making the show. Thanks to all the panel members, George Logan, Fridgeman, Wheels, JFK and Stardog. Thanks to Old School Blue for doing the technicals and the show, Fox. Take it away, Old School Blue.
I've sailed the wide Atlantic, across the broad Pacific shore. I've sailed around the stormy capes, I've heard the parties roar. I fly the Indian Ocean, I've sailed the China Sea. Well, there's a sea back home in Scotland, means more than all the rest to me. It's the blue, it's the blue sea of thy brow. It's the greatest sight that I the blue, yes, the blue sea of Ibrox. And it happens when the orange beat the green. No more I'll sail the seven seas, no more I'll ever roam. No more I'll feel the urge again, I'm back where I belong. At 3 o'clock each Saturday, I'll join a happy throng, with Rangers banners all around. We'll proudly sing this song. It's the blue, yes, the blue sea of Ibrox. It's the greatest sight that I have ever seen. It's the blue, yes, the blue sea of Ibrox. And it happens when the orange beat the green. It's the blue, yes, the blue sea of Ibrox. It's the greatest sight